The least exciting of the push days, the tricep push day. You know, I'm always hesitant to even like title these videos the tricep days because like, who cares about triceps? Hey, triceps are pretty cool, okay? And we're just doing a warm-up here for them today. I think I've kind of advised myself against doing the weighted dips because I did some research. I look into stuff sometimes, and the conclusion I came to is that if I'm going on this bodybuilding journey and not like a calisthenics like journey, I still want to get really strong, that's not in question. But when it comes to bodybuilding, dips aren't great because you're not targeting entirely the triceps. The movement you're doing works your lower chest and your shoulders because of you holding yourself up at the angle at the top. So if you just want to work your triceps, it's not the best exercise. It's just that simple. So instead we're going to be, you know, maxing out those cable pulls. Today we're going to be doing some heavy cable push downs. So let's friggin' do it, dude. Like, these are totally chill. If you could do like this movement weighted, I wonder if this would actually be a pretty good tricep movement. My shoulder feels a little sore, specifically just my right shoulder though. Squiggly bar. Why must I be such average height? Okay, time for some pull downs. We maxed out on 70 for a while, but you know the drill. Every time we make it to the designated muscle day, we're supposed to go up on at least one exercise, and I'm definitely not going up on that overhead motion. So that means there's only one option left, and it's this. God, the music is loud today, though. I don't know, I think I can do it. Can I do it well? That's the real question. It'll be easy. What am I even worried about? It's gonna be so easy. It's gonna be so unbelievably easy that I wondered why I even worried about how easy it was gonna be. Ooh. Ooh. Ah. Ah. Yeah, that was hard. No kidding, but yeah, that was pretty hard. The only problem with the straight bar, or the squiggly bar, this is still pretty much the same exact motion as the straight bar. It's just a little more comfortable for me personally because I don't have to worry about like my grip feeling all weird because it fits perfectly in the divots of this bar, but it's the same motion as a straight bar, which basically just means it's easy. I'm overloading a relatively easy motion, which is fine by me because, yeah, that works. Hey man, if it hits the muscle, it hits the muscle. Who gives a shit, right? There are more optimal ways to do it, but right now, I think my main goal is just to get stronger. Like, the rope is probably better. I can't overload it as much, so instead I'm going to do this exercise until I can max it out, and then go to the rope until I can max that out, and so forth, and go into higher and higher progressions and kind of like cheat it in a way, where I'm still gonna work really hard at this, and this is not light, okay? This is by no means lightweight, but it is it's definitely an easier progression than the ropes, because I don't have to take my arms and flare them out as I go down. I just stop here at the full extension. I don't go down here, I stop here. With that being said, it's still difficult, but it's not the most difficult, basically. We're 2 rungs away from maxing out this machine in particular. It goes to 95 pounds. Weird weight to stop at, honestly. Why not just go to 100? I mean, there's probably like a reason, probably along the lines of we couldn't fit it on there reasonably, but still a weird weight to stop at. I wonder, there are things you can put on here. They're around here somewhere where you can put extra weight on, but we're not there yet. I don't know why I'm worried about that. We're not there yet, but hey, soon. At this rate, I'll be there soon, so. What's your training regimen? I'm too dumb to know when to quit. I don't realize how heavy it is, so it can't beat that heavy, right? Weaponized idiocy. Now that's an oxymoron if I've ever heard one. Like, weaponized incompetence is when you feign your inability, right? No, I have no ability. I'm not feigning anything. I'm weaponizing my inability. It's awesome. Ooh. Hey man, this weight was my max like 3 or 4 days ago. Obviously, that's the power of this split, obviously. The reason you do the rotation is so that you can just keep maxing things out and going up on the weight as you rotate back to it. But it always catches me off guard. It really does feel like I'm moving up on this stuff faster than I should be, but if I'm able to do it, it doesn't fucking matter, does it? I'm not hurting. I mean, I am in all the ways that matter, but I'm not hurting in any like uncomfortable way. And it's not like I'm falling behind. I'm still just doing the number of reps I was on the weight before that and the weight before that, but hey, hey man, it's cool as fuck. It's so cool. I always find myself coming back to it. I can't escape it. The freak attachment, it follows me everywhere. We definitely do not do anywhere near 80 pounds on this thing, but we are in the 40-pound ballpark. I'm definitely not able to do anything near 80 pounds, but I still wonder if I'm able to do, like, if I started with this, if I could do somewhere around 50, 55, maybe 60, somewhere in that ballpark, but no, I don't think so. In my last video while I was editing, I'm sorry, I said the word like a lot. I'm not usually that unprofessional when it comes to speaking. Usually I'm pretty good at not saying like, well, like, you know, like, and it was pissing me off. And if it pissed you off, I'm sorry. I don't know why I did that. That's not me. That's not usually me. I think I was just that distraught by the leg exercise I did. It was, I pushed myself pretty hard. So to say I was discombobulated would probably be a downplay of how I felt. But yeah, excuses. It was my mistake. I'm sorry. No. No. That shit is so heavy, dude. Oh my god. Do we got any Full Metal Alchemist heads in the freaking comment section? In the viewership, do we have any? What a beloved show, dude. Why is that show so good? I can't remember how many times I've rewatched it, but I'm rewatching it again right now. Oh my god. Every time I go back, I'm like, how is it? It just locks you in. I'm talking about Brotherhood, by the way. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. The original animated series was good. It was good. Like, it had bad pacing, and that's like key to a show like that. With such a good climactic story, to hit those beats in the right order. Masterful, right? But Brotherhood did it great, and it started at like the perfect point. Like, I understand that there's a lot of the story that's missed there with like their beginning escapades as alchemists, but I honestly think starting with the battle with the, what is he, the water alchemist, or the boiling alchemist, something like that, right? Like he works with water. Starting at that battle is just so good, because they, you know, they meet Colonel Hughes, they meet up with Roy Mustang, they discuss their joining up with the alchemists, they go to Leor after that, you know? It's just this really good progression of like big story beats right out the gate, you know? It starts you in the heat of action, you know? Forget a cold open, let's get a warm bloodshed opening. And we get introduced to Scar in like the first 4 episodes, one of the best characters in the whole show. Like, I won't spoil anything because anybody should go into it raw, you know? But man, what a masterpiece, okay? I saw a video where somebody was like, yeah, you know, Full Metal Alchemist does everything really good, but I don't think it does anything the best. Characters. They might have some of the best characters in fiction. like well-written characters. And the mix between like silly and serious is also maybe one of the best animes to do that. You know, like One Piece takes it too far. Other animes take it too far. Demon Slayer takes it too far, you know? They spend too much time on their silly beats, you know? While Full Metal Alchemist weaves it seamlessly into everything, and it's great. Because I like to work out in my socks, this exercise is a pain in the ass, but what I found is I like rest my heel against this bar while I'm leaning down. I don't move, I don't go anywhere, I'm stationary, okay? Pro tip for you there. When I say pro tip, I mean surface level, pretty basic tip for you. Why do I work out in socks, you might be asking? I couldn't tell you. I think it's a comfort thing, but it's also like I think it might be mind-muscle connection. I just balance better. I don't know, I feel more in the zone when I'm not thinking about like the shoes I'm wearing, if that makes any sense. And if it doesn't make any sense, don't worry, it makes sense to me. And in this case, that's all that matters, because you can work out however you want as long as you are relatively comfortable besides like the actual workout you're doing. You shouldn't really be comfortable with the way you're doing in a sense, obviously. We've talked about this before, but like, just remember, you don't have to be super uncomfortable, you know? As long as you're wearing comfortable clothing, movable clothing, breathable clothing, you know, whatever you feel comfortable wearing, you should be, you know? Everybody, I don't think I've ever heard this before, but I'm sure there are people out there who are like, oh, no, you don't, that's pussy shit. You don't have to be comfortable. Oh, only losers say that. Hey, man, you're going to be stuck at whatever you're doing, your size and whatever, for a long time because you're not going to be able to focus. Because focusing is plays a big part in being able to do the weight, do the movement all correctly with your max strength, you know? So, hey man, be comfy. Obviously that only applies to literally what you're wearing. Like when you're doing weight, don't be comfortable with it. Do a weight outside of your comfort zone. Don't hurt yourself, but, you know, do a weight that's heavy. Something you have to pay attention to do. I almost tried to get a thumbs up with this, but that doesn't work, as you can see. That's gonna be my first merch ever, is just a goblin on a t-shirt going, simple. It's gonna sell like hot cakes, okay? How fast do hot cakes sell? I don't know. I heard it in like 3 different movies when I was a kid, so I'm saying it now. Ooh. Ah. Ooh. Ah. 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 Time for the chest explosion machine 9000. This thing has been doing honest to God work for me. It's insane. I don't know, ever since I've started doing this specific machine, my bench has been improving very much. I'm just able to overload it and do heavy weight on it. That's good. You know, like, obviously machines don't really contribute to practical weight management, okay? That's a term I'm coining, okay? Obviously, if you want to work on your practical abilities, you got to do practical things, right? Free weights are the best for that, because you're literally simulating yourself doing real, actual things. And on machines, you're doing a literal, like, straight line movement that would never happen in real life. So, no, machines are not good for practical strength, which we're not really here for. We're here for bigger muscle, more muscle, stronger muscle. And these are good for that, because then it contributes to overall just getting stronger and being able to do heavier weight on free weight exercises. It's a new day, but it all works out. It's a good life, that's what I'm told. The Pacifier with Vin Diesel, anybody? What a mid-ass movie, but I loved it as a kid, okay? And honestly, everything about that movie is great except Vin Diesel. No offense, buddy, but you are a lunatic. Anybody seen those interviews with Vin Diesel where he's just being a lunatic? Yeah, I have. What a weirdo, what a freak show, dude. The steroids got to his head, okay? And not his muscles somehow. Like, he's not the biggest guy, is he? Good Charlotte's great, but it's not really workout music for me. I need something a little more dialed in. Oof. Ooh. Dude, going to failure on this machine fucking hurts because I have it set to the like a point where my arm goes like really low when I go down so that I can get my full range of motion. So that means when I let go, I have to like sink into it. Oh my God. I mean, it's not the biggest deal, obviously. It's just like that last rep going to failure feels like I am sinking into a mere instance of what it feels like to, I don't know, die? I don't know how to describe that feeling where it's just like, oh, there it is. My arm's just gonna like crumble to dust, but then it doesn't. And I remember I'm getting stronger. Man, I need to get into like bodybuilding culture though. I'm kind of like an outsider at this point. Does anybody have any recommendations for like getting into the culture of it, learning about the people, figuring out whose style I wanna adapt, whose poses I like the most, which poses I like the most? Because I don't really want to watch the bodybuilding shows, but I also do. They don't seem that interesting. They seem fine. Like, I get it. I understand why it's cool to some people. I don't know. I just want to go to, it makes me just want to go to the gym. It doesn't make me want to watch more bodybuilding shows. Does that make sense? So because I like Mike Mentzer. I saw that he developed his like own style of posing where he did the normal poses that people did, but he would like flare his hands in different ways. And that was super cool to me, okay? Obviously, I'm never gonna have that amount of flair, but setting yourself apart like that's gotta be important. Like, just imagine coming up with such a small thing where he would do the pose and then he would like cover his face. That was Mike Mentzer, right? So cool, so cool. He just wanted to stand out and be his own style while also following the rules and restrictions and looking good. That's respectable. I liked it a lot. And apparently that guy was like, really impressive. So with all that being said, how would you recommend I get into bodybuilding culture? Where do I start, you know? Because I know stuff about like C-Bum, Arnold, obviously, Ronnie Coleman, obviously. I don't think that like you have to be into fitness at all to know who Ronnie Coleman and what he's done, you know? Same thing with Arnold, so that's like surface level shit. C-Bum is like right below surface level. Like, he's basically surface level, but you have to know what weightlifting is to know what he is or who he is, right? What's below that? What's below Mike Mentzer? Like, where do I go, right? Yeah! Whoa! You ever accidentally just fast forward a song and you were listening to a low production quiet song that, you know, maybe had like a couple $100,000 backing it, and then you switch to another one and it's just like, ah! Shit! This song was produced in the last 10 years of music. That's so loud! This exercise is the shit though, dude. You know, because obviously the reason I do these, if you haven't been paying attention, is because it doesn't work my triceps that much. I can do this exercise on tricep and shoulder day and it's not gonna really hit those. It's chest. It is almost all chest, okay? It's great. And it's also mostly upper chest, which is even better, because that's where a lot of my growth is lacking. I feel like you can kind of breathe a little hard and you'll get some lower chest development, you know? Maybe that's just me, but like lower chest development is so much easier to get than upper chest development. And honestly, I need both. I have the muscle gap where it's just straight bone and skin right here. Like, there's no muscle in between my skin and my bone right here in the center. And I did some research, and you can actually grow the muscle inward towards that, but I will most likely for the rest of my life have some amount of gap there, unless I do copious amounts of steroids, right? Which I'm not gonna do, so it's hard to say if it's even possible for me to entirely close that gap. I'm getting in shape fast though. This is so cool. I'm growing fast. Like, I'm looking at creators who have been working out longer than me, and I'm like catching up to them. Maybe not on weight, well, some of it on weight, honestly, and then some of it on physique faster than like I should be, because they're progressing way slower, and they're much bigger than I am. I could just be coping, heavy coping, but like, hey man, I don't know. Maybe y'all just need to freaking pick up your game, all right? Start lifting more, harder, all right? I'm catching up to you, watch out. Freaking lift harder, dude. Come on. Don't let some half-baked pipsqueak catch up to you. I'd be ashamed. If I was catching up to me, I'd be ashamed. Boo! 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 Oh! Boo! Alright, we don't really move around a lot on tri days. We're just using the 2 machines. And you know what? That's pretty chill. Stay out of people's way if you're going to use a camera in the gym. That's my motto. I don't really even have to go down that much weight from what I do on overhead tricep extensions, which is wild. The magic that is this version of a shoulder fly. If you don't believe it yet, freaking do it. What a miracle of an exercise, dude. It's crazy. Did I go up on weight on this by accident? I think I might have. That hurt. Dude, it's so cool though. I can, like, while I'm doing the exercise, I can feel it. It feels like my shoulder muscle is just a rock. It's such a cool feeling to like have it under so much tension and like feel it. Nothing like it. Makes you just want to do 5 extra reps, dude. It's insane. First time doing this without a hoodie on, and I'm getting markings. My poor soft ginger skin, dude. Somebody commented under one of my videos. They were like, dude, you need to get more sun. It really helps emphasize your physique. Hey, dude, I wish I could. I am not, my kind is not built for the sun, okay? The sun looks at me specifically and goes, perish. It smites me the second I go outside. It's insane. Like, an abrasion on me looks like a bruise, when on some people you can barely see it. Like literally, like, this looks like I got hurt, when really it's just pressure marks from having this on my arm. I mean, I wish I could get some vitamin D and it not burn the living shit out of my skin. I just have no UV resistance at all. It's a blessing and a curse, because I don't like going outside, and so I have an excuse to not go outside. But I also really like going outside sometimes, and I don't have the capability to do so, really. You know, people are like, touch grass. Oh, I can't, I'll get sunburned. End of discussion. Y'all hear that Black Clover's coming out with another season, or it's coming back. It doesn't really do seasons, it's kind of like One Piece. I'm so hype. That's the anime that got me in the gym, dude. It's that anime, you know? The main character is literally just, yeah, I'm strong as fuck. What else can you do? Yeah, that's about it. I mean, he obviously has anti-magic if you haven't seen it, but like, he wouldn't be able to be so good with the anti-magic if he wasn't also strong as shit. That was a pretty quick day, all things considered, but I am freaking, like, distraught, dude. Distraught and destroyed. That is looking good. The shoulder flex. the tricep flex. Okay, whoa. That's more than last week by a long shot. Holy shit, actually. We're starting to see the shelf go into this part of the tricep here. That's really cool. This back area is getting a lot of definition, which means so is this one. You just can't see it because tattoo. I love this tattoo though. It was a combination of me and my artist working together to make a one-of-a-kind piece, baby. You're never gonna see something like this ever on anybody else, except for after I become super popular and cool. Then everybody will be like, wow, that's just like the Goblin tattoo. Whoa! I am lean though. Oh, I'm pretty lean. I'm not that lean, let's be honest. I am pumping a lot of protein, which you need to put calories into you in my diet, so I'm not the leanest guy. I don't really want to be. I want to still be gaining mass and strength all at the same time, but like that tricep flex was insane. That shoulder flex is insane. Oh, that's the pose. Y'all see that? Ooh. Natural athlete? No, steroids. I'm waiting. Where are my fake natty accusations? Give them to me. Give them. I need them. I'm acting like I'm going to retire once I get one. I am not going to retire. What it seems like is this isn't really a genre of something that a lot of people really get to retire from. Like Greg Doucette's been doing this for what, 50 years now? Freaking old ass man. All the disrespect. That was a good workout, okay? Fast, exhilarating, powerful. I went up on almost every exercise I did except for that one. We're going up in 3 days' time on the next chest day. We're gonna be putting a 25 on each side of the, what is that, the chest machine. It's funny though, because then I'm gonna be doing the same amount of weight that I'm doing on my hack squat. Not really, because the machine itself is like 45 pounds, but it's close, and that's kind of amusing to me. Machines, man, they're a godsend. Use them, all right? Anyways, today was very successful. Tomorrow is bicep day, so be there or be a little baby. Don't be late, is what I'm saying. We've had an influx of a couple of subscribers recently. Welcome, hello. Your question of the day is, what song recommendations do you have that sound like you're going to war? I don't want rap, I don't want pop. I want like chanting and like weird orchestral chorus war music, okay? Give me some of that. That's what I'm looking for right now. That's a genre I'm enjoying in the gym currently. And go to the gym. Be productive. Go get some shit done, all right? Get done what you got to do today to be able to go to the gym. Love you guys. See you later. Later, bye, later.